Hello, and welcome to today's midday meditation. I am thrilled that you are here, no matter where you found us, if it is joining me live or watching the recording, whether it's Monday or any other day of the week. And regardless of whether it's midday or some other time of day for you, I'm so happy that you're here. As we get started, and getting started as we always do, I'll invite you to get really comfortable in your seat. Find a nice foundation upon which the body can just rest, just relax. Take a break. And this foundation of ease in the physical body, being supported on the physical body or in the physical body, is such an important first step to cultivating this energy and this space together. It's a perfect foundation upon which we can create the conditions for calm and cultivate the calm that is within each of us. So find your comfortable seat, take a few deep, full breaths. Just let that beautiful flow of energy rise and fall, move with the breath, that breath within you. You can close your eyes if you feel like you'd like to, or if it's safe to do so. And we'll settle in. You can allow for the busy mind to linger on the movement of the breath, or you can think about the word calm. Calm on the inhale, calm on the exhale. The sound of the word calm, the combination of those vowels and consonants, has this soothing effect, especially that at the end. Just allow that, if it's helpful, to be that word or that sound that the mind comes back to anytime you feel or it feels tempted to go back into activity or try to solve the problems of the day. And come back to the breath or that word, calm. And as we settle in here, calm continues to be this core theme that is coming forward for me. And it has been over the last several weeks. In fact, it really does act as a foundation of all the work that I do. And I talk about stress. I talk about stress often, but the foundation of that, or the foundation for healing stress or transforming stress, rests on calm as your baseline state. Calm versus stress, anxiety, overwhelm, burnout. Calm as your baseline state can be your most profound superpower. In fact, this past weekend, I had the privilege of guiding, it turned out to be a group of 14 women through a calm reset experience as part of an International Women's Day workshop that I held. And this time spent in this room of beautiful souls yesterday reminded me again of why calm isn't something that you only practice or feel or experience in perfect conditions. We talked a lot yesterday about this concept of waiting for things to be ideal to feel calm, or trying to create the conditions of calm by blocking your schedule, doing big things like taking vacations, setting boundaries. And we hear a lot about that in stress management. Stress management tactics often focus on these big lifestyle changes. And certainly, if stress and burnout are your experience most days or your baseline, then there are perhaps big lifestyle changes that are required. But they don't start with the big things, the big events, the big pieces of work or time that you have to jam into your calendar. And these lifestyle changes also, you can feel like they will happen when, the person or the place or the situation gets better. People just do what they're supposed to be doing, and you don't have to, do everybody else's work or fill in the gaps. Even things like exercising more, attending yoga classes, or meditating, those can seem like big lifestyle changes when you're trying to fit them into a life of uncalm, stress, busy, overwork. So those stress management practices or techniques, so they're all healthy practices. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. But what I've found and what I've learned through working and speaking with women for now many years, because it goes back, these conversations actually, as I think about it, go back to my time in the corporate world. These big practices, these big tactics, these big techniques around stress management, they only work really, in the long term anyway, when there is a baseline of calm. Calm in the body, calm in the nervous system, calm in the mind. So we shared a lot about that yesterday in the workshop. And I saw a lot of nods around the room as we talked about those stress management techniques. In fact, I think many of the women there agreed that they had tried those things, done those things. And we also talked about the fact that, you might feel an immediate benefit from those things, but that the longevity of them as a lifestyle regime for you or for them can be short-lived as people, places, situations, things start to demand our attention and push those things that we have established or feel like we've established as stress management tools out of our schedule. When I asked the women directly if those things ever, or what happens, I guess is a better way to put it, what happens when things get busier? And they all said all of that stuff that they've been doing, the classes, the techniques, the time in their calendar, all of it goes out the window. And even the fact that it might continue to show in their calendar and being unable to do it was a source of frustration, stress for them. So coming back to this idea that, all of those tactics really only truly work when conditions are right for them to work. But like I said at the beginning, it's my belief that calm doesn't require there to be perfect conditions in your life, because you could be waiting a long time for that. And most women that I speak to aren't starting from that place. They're starting from overwhelm, exhaustion, constant pressure. And that's what certainly came up in the session yesterday. And like I said, with most women that I'm talking to, spending time with. And so we come back to that word calm. Calm as you feel the movement of the breath, the rise and the fall of the chest, the expansion of the rib cage. Calm, calm as your baseline. And how do you create this? How do you switch or flip the switch from stress, overwhelm, burnout, overwork as your baseline to calm being your baseline? And like I said, it's not those big tactics. It's not those big blocks of time in your calendar. It's not the changing conditions around you. It's actually simple things. Something as simple as this. Pausing in the middle of your day to break the momentum of your day. To turn within. Even for a few minutes can be so powerful. It doesn't require blocking your calendar to capture the calm. It's moments. And we talked yesterday as well about the fact that it's these little moments that one by one transform and become the lifestyle. The big things, right, always seem like the ones that catch attention. It looks like a change. I've got it now. I'm over the hump. This is my new way of being. And if that works for you, then more power to you. I'm so glad it is. Bless you. And I love that for you. But for most people that I talk to, it's simply not sustainable. But these little moments, like a little drip, little drip, a little drip, those are the things that lead to the biggest change. Achievable, actionable, sustainable, real change. And so I am so glad that you've chosen to join me here. This is one of those drips, the drops in the pool. Imagine the ripple effect of doing this every day. Imagine the ripple effect of little moments of calm that you are cultivating. This is the surefire way to live stresslessly. But I think also the surefire method for building your superpowers, living a life of calm, clarity, ease, and joy, where your perfect expression is able to be shared, is able to flourish every single day, not just when you've got time, not just when it feels all right. And so as we get ready to wrap up today's time together in this midday meditation, I invite you to take those moments of calm. Reclaim a couple more minutes just to yourself. And as I mentioned, you can establish calm as your baseline. Trading calm for the stress, overwhelm, anxiety, burnout, overwork. And what I know for sure is that most of us are somewhere on the journey of calm, and that stress overall exists on a spectrum. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, because your baseline is different than anybody else's. I often say your stress is as individualized and personal as your fingerprint. And if you're curious about where your stress or calm baseline might be right now, I've created a very simple quiz called Discover Your Stress Score, and it's designed to help you understand how stress might be showing up in your life and give you some really practical tools and next steps toward stress-less living and reclaiming your calm, your superpower. I'll pop the link below this video. And until next time, my friends, have the most beautiful day. I can't wait to see you again. Namaste.